keynote speaker, who is Dr. Tiffany Harris, a devoted wife and mother who wears many hats. She's not just an in-demand, international, award-winning inspirational speaker. She's also a coach, a mindset coach, a mentor, and a three-time author. She has a growing consulting company called Shift Your Mindset and Dream Big, LLC. That sounds good, doesn't it? With 2 prestigious Changemaker of the Year awards under her belt, she's also a Business Grammy nominee, a Faith Made Millionaire nominee, and an alum of the Ignite Speakers program developed by the one and only Lisa Nichols. Beyond those titles, Dr. Harris is the visionary behind Win Women Empower, a global women's membership community. Her mission is to empower individuals worldwide to transform their mindset, allowing them to reach new heights in all aspects of their lives, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. At the core of Dr. Harris's philosophy lies the belief that shifting your mindset can also alter the course of your life. Get ready to soar, scale, and succeed with Dr. Harris leading the way.
Good, everything went well. She spoke well, with intelligence, courage, and she really gave a positive message to all the 8th graders that's about to go to high school now. So they should take that into keep a mental note of that. When they return to school, they'll be fine.
It was a really good and powerful message. Everybody really thought that it was good. I was looking around the room to see how everybody's reaction was, and they had very a strong emotional agreement into the speech. And even my ELA teacher, she was taken aback and she loved it, and I know Miss Newkirk loved it. She doing amazing actually, and the speech was top 10 out of 10.
Dr. Harris's speech was so wonderful. It was so inspirational. I think the children are going to really listen to what she had to say and keep it in their minds while they're going through high school. I know my granddaughter will keep it in mind, and I really was inspired listening to her.
Nice person, she really inspired me, and when she gave us these wristbands, these was thorough, and her favorite, not her favorite color, but she wear a lot of red. Yeah, I like red.
I feel like she was very genuine and very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very inspiring. And when she talked about her past, it inspired me to do better. And that's what I just loved about the whole speech and what she brought to the
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another morning episode of Tea with Dr. T. I am so grateful for all of you who have decided to come back in and spend some time with me this morning. And so listen, you all are in for a special treat. We have a phenomenal guest who I'm going to introduce shortly. And I'm so honored to have her here on the show today and to be able to interview her. So before I bring her up, I need to have all of you share this live with all the women that you know. Go ahead and tag them so that they can get up on here and they do not miss this powerful conversation that is about to happen. So share, tag. If you need to call them and say, girl, get up. What are you doing? Dr. Harris is live on all platforms. Listen, go ahead and call them and tell them where they need to be right now. And so I appreciate you all because you were tuning in from all over the world. And for some of you, it's earlier than 7:04 a.m., which is the time for me. Thank you, Desi B. And so for some of you, it's 6:04 in the morning. For some of you, it's 4:04 in the morning. For some of you, it's 12 p.m. in the afternoon. But no matter the time, you decided to be here with me, and I'm so grateful, and I thank you so much. And while you are sharing, while you are tagging all the women who you know, I also want you to just put in the chat and let me know, where are you tuning in from? Where are you tuning in from? I want to be able to shout you out. Now, I can remember some of the places, but not all of the places. And so as I shout out your city or your state, please forgive me if I don't name your city or state. I'm trying to remember them all. There's so many. You're from Trinidad, Liberia, Jamaica, Alabama, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Texas, Florida, North Carolina. Let me see now. Virginia. I know I'm missing a bunch of Mississippi, My goodness. And so, listen, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you for being here and for sharing. Now, I can see some of the comments. I cannot see all of your comments. So if I miss your comments while you are live, please know that I will go back and I will respond to those comments that I'm not able to see in real time. But I thank y'all for hanging out with me this morning. And so for those of you who are just coming in, welcome. Welcome into Morning Tea with Dr. T. This is where mindset, leadership, and purpose meet. And I am your host, Dr. Tiffany R. Harris, the mindset architect for limitless success. And so I need you to go ahead and grab your tea, grab your coffee. And I know some of you like smoothies or you just roll over and you drink your water. And so whatever it is that you have in the morning, I need you to go ahead and grab it. All right. Now, while you're going and you're grabbing that, I also want you to grab your pens, grab your notebooks. Some of you prefer to take notes on your iPad. Now, whichever it is, you go ahead and you get it so that you can really be engaged in this conversation and you can take copious notes. All right. And so, because just for a few minutes, I want to pour a little bit of mindset into your morning. And if that's all right, I want you to type, that's all right, in the comments. That's all right in the comments. And I just want to shout out some people who they show up pretty much every day, or either they're reaching out to me and say, "Hey, where can I go back and can I catch the replay? Where is it?" And so, thank you so much. I see you. That's all right. So if you've missed any of the episodes, today is episode 32. If you missed any of the episodes, you can go to my YT page, which is at Mindset Shift with Tiff. You can go over there and you can catch all of the episodes and you don't have to worry about missing out, and you can catch up. And listen, Linda. Okay. While you are there, I need you to like, I need you to comment, I need you to share, and I need you to subscribe. Thank you. Thank you so much in advance. I appreciate that. Okay. And so if you're here with me and you're live, go ahead and type good morning in the chat. And if perhaps you come back and you catch the replay, I want you to go ahead and type replay in the comments. Right. And so, and I'm just grateful for your presence. And once again, I want to thank all of those who have either clicked the links that has been on my page, or you click the link in my bio and you have supported We Don't Look Like What We've Been Through series 2. That is an anthology that I am the visionary behind. We have reached bestseller status, #1 in the category for biographies and memoirs, #1 in the category for self-help. And I thank you all for your support. But you can still support. You can still click the link and purchase your e-copy for only, let me say that again, only 99 cents. That's less than $1. And shout out to those of you who've already done that. And then after you purchase, please go back and leave a review. And so I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. All right, y'all. So listen, I know let's get to what y'all came here for. Okay, let's get to what you came for. I know. All right. And so listen. Today is a powerful day, right? Because we're not just having a conversation, we are stepping into alignment with our voice. And I have the perfect guest to help you with that. And so we're stepping into boldness, right? We're stepping into power on today. And our phenomenal guest is none other than the Dr. Monica Williams. And she's a speaker, she's an author, she's a podcast host, she's a wife, she's a mother. And y'all, let me tell you about her. She's bad to the bone, okay? She is known as the face of change and the voice of power, right? And she's also one of the bold, fearless, and powerhouse women who is featured in the first ever When Women Empower magazine, the Bold Moves issue. And so I need y'all to drop some fire, drop some hearts, drop some microphones in the chat as I bring to the virtual stage Dr. Williams. Let me bring her on up. Oh, I'm so excited that she is here. Oh, there she is. Good morning, Dr. Williams. How are you?
I am well. Good morning. How are you?
I am terrific. You look absolutely fabulous. That green is popping. Love,
Oh,
love, love.
thank you. Thank you.
You're
Thank you. And then you, of course, you're looking fabulous as always.
Oh, thank you so much. I try a little bit. Thank you. Listen, I was so excited when I saw your interview was coming up, and I was like, yes, we got the voice of power, the face of change. Oh, I was like, well, I'm ready for this, and I love it. And so y'all keep dropping the microphones and the fire in the chat for Dr. Monica. And so listen, I'm so proud of you. You have done so many amazing things. And I just want to kind of have a conversation to ask you some questions so that the listeners and the viewers, they can learn more about you. And so let's start here. So who are you and what has God called you to do in this season?
Well, first of all, I'll say I am woman, right? I am woman, and I have been called not just in this season, but this season is really like the bold season. But I have always been called to women, you know, and I've been called to women, especially in this season, because I am on a journey to healing. And so this season of my life currently is more seen than any other season because I'm showing up more healed than I've ever been. So
Mm,
I've always been called to women. You know, our calling is not just we wake up today and it's like, oh, God called you today. No, you've been called years and years and years ago, but you finally answered to it, right? And so now this season of my life is so important for me and for the other women that I've been called to because I can show up and be my authentic self. I can show up and I don't have to have a cover up on. I don't have to have a facade. I don't have to pretend. I don't have to, fake it till you make it. I don't have to do any of that. I can just show up as my authentic self and pour into women in this season from all the things that I've gone through and been through and watching these women go through that same thing and can provide them that hope and healing that they need that I receive. So that's what I'm called to do in this season is just to continue to show up as the woman that I am, the woman that God created me to be in this season for so many broken and unhealed women.
that's good. That's a bunch of mic
Mhm.
drops. Y'all put a bunch of mic drops. Look,
Mhm.
they already did it. Look, I look to my left. They already have it in the comments. Oh my God, see, so we are in alignment, right? And so you said so much that was so powerful, and I love what you said that you were already called a long time ago, but you're just now answering that call. I need y'all to put that in the chat because I need y'all to speak that over to y'all over yourselves and catch what Dr. Monica said. Right? You were called a long time ago and you're just now answering the call. And so, and you also spoke about your journey, right?
Mhm.
You have a beautiful journey. So, what did it look like during that journey? What did it look like before you fully stepped into your voice and your power?
Before I stepped into my own voice and my own power, I was operating in somebody else's voice
Mm,
and somebody else's power because I didn't know who I was. So I had to be so many other different types of people. That's the difference today is that my voice, what you hear is my voice, right? It's what I'm speaking. It's my authentic self. You know, I'm not trying to be like anybody else. I've done that. You know how to say, been there, done that,
mm,
and tried that. I did all of that because I didn't know my own identity. So it was wrapped up in so many things and so many different people. And trying to live like that is a full-time job. It's a full-time job and it wears you out. So now this voice that you hear, this face that you see, it's me. It's all of me. It's authentic, it's genuine, and it's real. And it really helps me to be able to pour into women in the way that they need because people are tired of women showing up being anything other than who they are. So I show up and I just be who I am, and it gives me more power, more strength, more boldness to be able to pour in to so many hurting women. Because women today, we ain't just start hurting this morning. We ain't just start hurting when we woke up. We've been hurting for decades. And women want answers, and they need answers, and they need it from someone who has the answers, the real ones, not the pretend ones. So that's, I don't know, I just feel good in this season because this is one of my best seasons. And it's one of my best seasons because I get to be exactly who I am. Whether you like it or not, that's not my problem. I don't make it my problem like I used to. I used to make it my problem. I don't make it my problem anymore. I just show up and be exactly who I am because when I do that, I give you permission to be exactly who you are.
Come on, Dr. Monica.
Mhm.
Yeah. Listen, she said,
Mhm.
my voice is my voice. Y'all put that in the comments. My voice is my voice. And listen, if they got a problem with you, that is not your problem. That's their
Mhm.
problem. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, so much that you said. And when you talked about being your authentic self and being anything outside of that is exhausting, is draining. And I love to see how you embody that, you embrace that, you live that, right?
Mhm.
And y'all, I don't know if y'all can see it, but even with her shirt, what does it say? I am
I am more. What is? Hold on, wait a minute, because I got so many different shirts. Let me see which one I got on today. I am more than good enough.
yeah, I put that in the chat. I am more than,
More than good enough.
and not just I'm good enough. I'm more than good enough. Put that in,
Yes.
right? And I love your IG name, right? It was I am that Monica.
Yes.
That's a whole bold declaration statement. Like I am that, like period. You better know who I
That's
am.
it.
I love that about you. And what you share is so important because there are so many women who are in that exact place right now. And I know that you're helping them right now. So I do believe that they can feel the shift because some of them haven't moved yet. But after hearing from the voice of power, I believe that they will begin to shift. And so let's talk about you being the face of change. So,
Mm.
what does it truly mean to embody change and not just talk about it?
So for me, this face of change is exactly what it says. This has always been the face, right? But this face was full of so much hurt and pain and disappointment. And people didn't really notice the eyes on the face. The eyes on the face was very sad, very depressed. The eyes were very dark. The eyes on his face was speaking without speaking, you know? And so people didn't recognize the face as what the face really was. So now this face that people get to see, they get to see the fullness of me. They get to see the healing version of me. So the eyes are no longer screaming for help. The eyes are no longer dark and in pain and searching because the eyes are healing. Therefore, the face is glowing and growing and evolving and changing daily. Not once a month or here and there. This face changes daily because every single day I feel like I'm learning more about myself, stepping more into who I was created to be and who I was called to be. And I do it without even having to think about it. And the reason why I don't have to think about it, because I'm doing it as my authentic self. So this face has changed through so many seasons, but the season that I'm in now with the change face is powerful, right? Again, it's authentic, it's real, it's who I really am. And I put in the work to change those dark eyes, those painful eyes, right? Those eyes screaming and calling for help. I put in the work to do that. And therefore, that's why I am the face of change because this face has changed from so many things in so many different seasons of her life.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful and very well said. Y'all put in the chat, I will put in the work to change. I will put in the work to heal. And you talked about your face and it's glowing and you're growing. And y'all, let me tell you about this beautiful face. Y'all see this magazine cover up here? This is Dr. Williams' cover page for the We Don't Look for the When Women Empower magazine. And my team and I, when we saw her cover page, we were like, oh my God. Like we already know that Dr. Williams is gorgeous, but on
Oh,
this
thank
cover
you.
page, you're walking in that photo, like it screams bold, it screams healed, it screams free, it screams authentic. it screams transform. It screams renewed. And so we were joking with my team and I, and we were up late this particular night, Dr. Williams, probably until about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And we were saying if we were on America's Next Top Model, and how Tyra Banks, she'll have all the photos in her hand, and she'll say, "And you are America's Next Top Model. You are the cover girl." And it's just it
Oh.
blew us away. Absolutely. And if you're on one of these platforms and you cannot see Dr. Williams's her cover page, you have to go to one of the other platforms so you can see it. But beautiful. And so with the magazine, this is the bold moves issue. And so what does it mean to you to be a bold woman? And what did you have to overcome to walk in your boldness?
So for me to walk in my boldness, I had to overcome always just struggling, surviving from something. My whole life, I've always survived from one thing to another. So I survived this only to survive another thing, you know. So I had to survive childhood sexual trauma, right? At 7 years old, all the way up into, my late teens. So I had to survive that. Then I was surviving teenage pregnancy. I was a teenage mom of three by the time I was 19. I had to survive abuse, emotional, mental abuse. I had to survive. People say, oh, abuse, if you ain't being physically abused, you're not being abused. No, I have been mentally and emotionally abused, and I had to survive that. I had to survive toxic relationships. I had to survive robbing Peter to pay Paul. I had to survive. Do I pay the rent, or do I pay the gas and electric? But if I pay the gas and electric and ain't got no house to live in, what's the point in paying the gas and electric? I had to survive. Do I buy food, or do I buy my kids shoes? I had to survive. Do I pay the car insurance or the car note? I always was surviving from something, only to survive through something else, right? And so how could you not show up and be bold? Because you had to be bold. You had to have a strength that you didn't even know you had, to keep surviving. So that's what I've done. I just kept surviving through, and kept surviving from, and kept surviving to. Now I just stand here and I'm not surviving anything anymore. I'm thriving through life. I'm thriving through all the things that I have survived. That's why I'm able to stand boldly here and be bold before other women and show them how to be bold, not just with my words, but with my action. Too many of us are just speaking things, but we're not living anything. So I'd rather you see my boldness than to just hear it. So yeah, that's where I am right now with that.
Oh, I love it. And I see your boldness, right? I
Mhm.
see it. I see it. I see you living it. I see you walking. I see you talking it. You doing it all, right? And I love to see it. And let me just say thank you for explaining and just sharing how abuse is not just physical,
Mm.
because that's one mistake that women make, is that, oh, he's not putting his hands on me. I don't have a black eye. I don't have a busted
Mhm.
lip. I'm not being abused. But you're exactly right. It's mental. It is verbal abuse. And so thank you for speaking to that. And they are commenting and they're saying she's so beautiful. And
Oh,
you're getting kind
thank you.
of, yeah. And as you're speaking, they said, come on. They're engaging with
Oh.
loving what you're sharing. And so with this magazine, not only is this the bold moves issue, all the women in this magazine, including yourself, not only are you bold, but you are also fearless, right? And so fear is something that many women face. So talk to us a little bit about how did you press past fear, and what did it look like when you were able to show up and be fearless as you walked in your assignment?
I tell women all the time, do it scared. Because I
Mm.
do it scared. You know, just because you may see a person showing up, looking bold, speaking bold, feeling bold, acting bold, it doesn't mean that they're not fearful of what they're doing, fearful of the stage, fearful of the people, right? But you have to show up and you have to do it scared. Bring the fear with you, because when you bring the fear with you, number one, it keeps you humbled, right? Because some of us, we act like we just doing it on our own. I'm just doing this on my own. You're not. So when you have that fear, when you feel, oh God, I know I can do this, but I can't do it without you. So even though I may show up and feel the way I feel, look the way I look, act the way I act, people don't realize that it is fear following me, but I'm pushing through it and I'm pushing past it and I'm showing up. And the reason I can show up through the fear and even with the fear, because I'm showing up again, and I'll say it over and over and over and over again. I'm showing up as my authentic self. So if I mess up a word, if I say something wrong, if I stumble over something, I'm not, oh Lord, what they gonna think, how they gonna feel. Most of us, we can't show up in our fear because we too scared, that we are going to be judged, or, oh, I got to look up a certain way. I got to be perfect in all that I do. No, show up with your fears. Show up being, fearless. Show up and just be bold in the fear. Just be bold in the fear. Because I'm bold in my fear. When I have to speak anywhere, or I have to, empower more, even with myself, I look at myself and I see the scars, right? I see sometimes the bruises. They're there, but I look at them and I say, that's not going to stop me. So the same way you don't let the scars and the bruises and all the things that you went, the trauma stop you, don't let the fear stop you. And that's what we do. We let fear stop us and we just stay stuck. Oh, I can't do that. I'm scared. I'm not going to do that because what if? What if this happens? What if that happens? What if it doesn't? Don't let fear stop you. Just show up and be bold in whatever you do.
Listen, the chat is going off over here. They said, "Woo, she ain't never lied." They said, "Be bold in your fear. Yes, keep it humble." And they said, "I can relate. Show up." And so, thank you so much for sharing that. And I see how you show up, right? And you move and you make it. And although you may fear, have that feeling of fear, it doesn't show because you're moving forward anyway. And I'm just so proud to see how you have grown and how you continue to grow and how you're taking God with you. Like, okay, God, I'm going to do this, but I can't do this without you. And I
Mhm,
love it.
mhm.
And I want to pause right here. And Dr. Williams, we're on 4 different platforms right now, right? And because I know somebody listening, you are waiting to feel ready. And what Dr. Monica is showing you is that you don't become fearless first, you become fearless by moving, right? So
Mhm.
really pay into what she has said, all right? And so let's go to being a powerhouse, because you are also a powerhouse, and that's what this edition of the magazine represents: women who are also a powerhouse. And I don't know if anybody has ever told you, but I'm going to tell you, you carry a powerhouse presence. Yes. And so, what does it mean to be a powerhouse woman, and how does it show up in your life and in leadership?
Well, whew, that's loaded. Again, for me, and hopefully other women can be this as well. You just got to be, in order to be a powerhouse for real, walking in your power, right? You have to be your authentic selves. The reason why most women are not walking in their real power to be a powerhouse in any room that you step into, because guess what? I'm going to be a powerhouse at the gas station. I'm going to be a powerhouse at the grocery store. I'm going to be a powerhouse in any room I walk in. It doesn't matter. In the bathroom, if I see a woman in the bathroom, powerhouse is showing up, right? Like she's already there. I take her wherever I go. Like I don't wait to be a powerhouse on a stage only. So most of us, so when if you only see yourself as a powerhouse on a stage or with a mic or behind a podium, you lose the power. You
Mm,
lose the power, right? So for me, being a powerhouse is just being her wherever you are. So wherever I go, powerhouse shows up because she's in me. So that's how I feel like I just keep showing up, being the powerhouse that people say I am, because I take her wherever I go. In the school, I don't care where I am. She is going to show up. I don't have to be on the stage. I don't have to have a mic. I don't have to be behind a podium. I just show up and be who I am wherever I go. And that's the mistake that most of us make. We think we only have to show up to be seen and heard on a stage. But what if you don't have a stage? Are you going to just lose your power? Are you going to just water down your power because you're not on a stage and you don't have a mic? No, be her wherever you are. And that's how when you say, oh, you just have this powerhouse presence, it's because I take it wherever I go.
Mm. Woo! Listen, I hope y'all are picking up what Dr. Williams is putting down, right? And put in the chat, I will not lose my power. Did you hear what she said? At the gas station, she taking it in the bathroom, everywhere that she go. I love, love, love that.
Mhm.
Brilliant. I love it. And so, Dr. Williams, for the women who may be holding back, right? And so they know that they have something inside of them, but they're shrinking, they're hiding. What would you say to that woman who is still sitting on her voice, on her calling, and on her next level?
Stand up,
Mhm.
stand up, stop smothering your voice, stand up, stop shrinking it, stop choking it. Just stop. Just stand up. Stand up. And when you stand up in who you are. You don't have to be anybody else. Only person that you have to be, God cannot bless who you pretend to be. Only who you really are. He's not changing your pretend self. He's changing your real self. So if you're wondering why am I still here? Why is it still happening? Ask yourself, are you standing up as your real self? Who 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 are you standing in? What are you standing in? Who are you standing in? Is you standing in yourself or you standing in somebody else's version of you? If you're standing in somebody else's version, then that may be your answer to why you have not changed, why you are still doing the same thing, why you are still in the same place, why nothing is working out for you. Because God is ready for you to step into who He created you to be, not who your parents told you to be, not who your pastor told you to be, not who your friends, your whoever. Don't be who they want you to be. Be who God called you to be. That's how you just step into your authentic, genuine, real self. And when you do that, the weight is going to drop off of you. The weight of what? The weight of other people's expectations, the weight of other people opinions of you, ideas of you, all that is just going to fall off. You're not going to care anymore about what people say, how they think, how they feel, because you're like, listen, I'm showing up as me. Your real self is what's going to help other women, not your fake self, not your pretend self. Stop fake it till you make it. Get that thought out your head. Stop faking it until you make it. Because some of us forgot and forget we're faking. We've been doing it so long that it's decades and you still faking it until you make it. Stop faking it until you make it. Just show up broken. Show up bruised. Show up battered. Show up weak. Just show up. Show up. And God is going to do the rest. I'm a witness to it. Trust me. I just show up.
Let me put my tea down because I'm about to fall out. I'm about to like get up and run and shout. I can't hold on. I had to put that down on the table. I can't hold it no more. So listen, can y'all put some teacups in the chat? Dr. Williams said, "Stop smothering your voice." She said, "Show up and let God do the rest." She said, "Stop pretending." Oh, listen, so much. Stop being that fake person and be yourself. I love, love, love it. Y'all, she's giving y'all so much. And I hope, and I see the teacups, I see them. I hope that y'all are really digesting this. She said, stop choking your voice. Oh, how many of y'all came for that? How many of y'all needed to hear that this morning? Right. And so beautiful. So let's talk about responsibility of visibility. And so with influence comes responsibility. So what responsibility comes with being seen, with being heard, and with being called to lead?
For me, I believe so. For those who know me and for those who don't, I am a firecracker sometimes, right? I can be a firecracker. And I'm not talking about in a positive way, right? And so, and all of that came from trauma, right? So I always was in like protective mode. Protective mode of who? Myself, because I didn't get protected. So I had to learn how to protect myself. And that looked a certain way, right? Protecting myself looked a certain way. So I would be the one that would go from 0 to 1,000. I was the one looking for a fight. I was the one looking for you to say something. I was the one offended all the time, responding to it all the time. Like that's who I was. That's what I did. That's how I operated. That's how I responded. Why? Because trauma told me to, right? Trauma led me there. Now I have this responsibility where I'm being seen, I'm being watched everywhere. Like you don't know who's watching you, who's looking at you, and that is a great responsibility, right? So when I start my healing journey on February the 18th, 2022, yes, I remember the date like it was yesterday. When I started that healing journey, part of that was taking responsibility and accountability, right? Showing up, knowing, girl, you cannot show up and be that firecracker anymore. You're going to have to learn to manage your feelings and manage your emotions. That's part of the healing journey, is managing your responses. And we think that we can just do anything, say anything, act any old kind of way, anywhere, be a part of anything, be in everything. You cannot. I know you want to, but you have to sometimes say, no, I can't do that. No, I don't do that anymore. No, I don't act like that anymore. No, I don't show up like that anymore. That's that's the responsibility that I have. I don't know what anybody else has. But for me, dealing with the trauma that I dealt with in life throughout my whole life, I lived in my trauma for 43 years. I didn't start my healing journey till I was almost 50 years old. So from 7 to almost 50, I was living in trauma, surviving through trauma. And do you know how that looked for me? Again, showing up, acting away, being away, always offended, always responding from 1,000, always ready to fight, always ready to shake the neck, always ready to point the finger. Like I couldn't keep showing up like that. So now I got this great responsibility. Like people are watching you. Like you are the face of change and a voice of power. People are looking at you. You are responsible for other women. So you have to be able to not just tell them to manage those emotions and feelings, but you have to show them what it looks like. So that's a great responsibility for me every day, because the old Monica wants to pop off. The old Monica wants to show up. You say something to me, I'm ready. What? Oh, I forgot I can't act like that no more. I can't do that no more. You understand? That's a great responsibility for me. And we all have one. You just have to know what yours is and be real with it. I'm real about mine. I know who I was. I know how I protected me. And I protected me ready to fight. I protected me ready to cuss you out. That's how I protected me, because I had to show up looking like you wasn't going to bully me. You wasn't going to hurt me. You wasn't going to harm me. And so that looked like me showing up with this big um aggressive voice. This big aggressive personality, because I wanted everybody in the room to be scared of me so that you wouldn't hurt me. So that's how that looked for me. And I had to learn to manage that and control that. And that is a great responsibility every single day.
I thank God that you've reached that point, because you are breaking something for a lot of women who are listening to you right now. And one of the things that you talked about is that trauma starting at 7 and not being healed. And February 18th, 2022, you remember that date. And if you are listening and just calculate how long that is, how many years that is. And Dr. Monica told you. And so for me, that speaks volumes. It lets you know that you can still heal. It's not
Mhm.
too late, right? You
Mm-mm.
still can overcome. It's not too late. And so I just thank you for that transparency. And Praise Lady said, you are talking my testimony. And so yeah, and Desi B said, "Me too. That's all I knew as protecting. You're in defense mode, right? So I'm going to
Mhm.
fight." Yeah, and
Mhm.
so just thank you for letting them know that they can still heal, they can still move forward, they can still stand up and be bold and fearless and a powerhouse, and not respond the way that they used to, and be responsible with their emotions. And put that in the chat. I will be responsible with how I manage my emotions. That is excellent. And so if we could make this practical, Dr. Monica, what is one thing that women can do today to begin using their voice in confidence?
Opening their mouth. Open your mouth. See, we think we got to do, We got to do so much. I got to prep. I got to prepare. No, just open your mouth. When somebody asks you a question, give them a real response. Don't think about it. We're programmed and we're conditioned. How are you? Blessed and highly favored? Okay, sis. Okay. I'm not saying you're not, right? But we're programmed and we're conditioned. How are you, sis? Good, fine, wonderful, amazing. We don't even think about the answers, right? We don't even think about the response. We're just so programmed and so conditioned to say what we think people want to hear, right? But if I ask you, sis, how are you? And you say, today is not a good day, that's going to lead to another question. Well, why today is not a good day? I'm just going through. What are you going through? I'm hurting. What are you hurting from? Why are you hurting? Right? Now I'm getting to know my sister and I can help my sister in that moment. So that's what you open your mouth and speak the truth. When people say, how are you doing? It doesn't mean that you are still not favored by God. It doesn't mean that you're still not a Christian, that you're still not a believer, that you still don't have faith. But sometimes if I ask you how you're doing, it's okay to say, today is not a good day. Use your genuine, authentic voice and let people know what you're really going through so that you can get the help that you need from your sisters. So that's use your voice, open your mouth. But when you open it, just like I tell people, when you write a story, if you're going to lie, don't tell a story. Just don't tell. If you're going to open your mouth and lie, just keep your lips closed. Just don't even open your mouth. And we have a problem with just saying what we think people want to hear. So open your mouth. But when you open it, speak the truth. Because that you heard what they say, truth. The truth will set you free. Not
Yes.
just God's truth, not just the word is going to set you free, but you will be set free within yourself if you just speak your truth. Open your mouth and speak the truth. People, somebody waiting to hear the truth because they tired too. They like, girl, I'm so happy you said your hair was fake because I'm tired of wearing this thing, pretending this my real hair. I'm so glad you said your marriage is messed up because, girl, my marriage is on its last leg. Somebody, girl, I'm so glad you said your children crazy. Girl, I've been pretending my kids is so, girl, I'm so glad you said. They waiting for you because somebody is like, I'm so tired of carrying all this around. Can a real woman show up? Can a real woman speak up? Is anybody going through what I'm going through? And as soon as you open your mouth and you say, you know what, I'm about ready to serve these papers. What papers? The divorce papers. Oh my gosh, girl. I'm so glad you said that. And neither one of you might do it, but guess what? At least now it's that sister, because you spoke your truth, it gave her permission to speak hers. So that's what you use your voice for, to speak the truth.
Dr. Monica, they shouting over here. They shouting over here. They saying,
It's
come on. They shouting over here. Yes, they said the truth will set you free. And I love that. And like you said, you'll find out that other women are going through the same thing. And what we call that is Yana. YAN.
mm,
You are not alone. And I love
mm,
it. So, ladies, and maybe some men here as well, but you hear it. This is your next step. This is what you can do today, not
mm-hmm,
next year, not when you feel ready. Dr. Monica just gave you what you can do today. All right.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
so, Dr. Monica, so let's continue to pour into the women, right? So for the woman who's afraid of being judged, what would you say to her to help her move forward anyway?
My answers be so simple, and I'm just here to tell you, you just gotta have a I don't care spirit. I don't care attitude. They're gonna judge you anyway. Like they always say, they judge Jesus, and he was perfect, and he did nothing wrong to deserve to be judged. Who you think you are? Who you think you are to not be judged? Of course they're going to judge you. You judge people too. I do too. We all do. Let's be real, right? We all judge people for something, about something. We all got that. If that was me, I wouldn't do it. If it was me, I would have did. No, if it was you, you would have probably did the same thing. So don't care. Just don't care, because they're going to judge you anyway. Even if you're perfect, which you're not, but some of us think we are. But the ones of us who think we're perfect, you're being judged. And the ones who's showing up looking flawless every day, you're being judged. So if you're being judged looking flawless, just show them when you're broken and let them judge that too. Let them judge all of you. but just don't care, because what people think about you, again, is not your problem. It is their problem. And if you spend seconds and minutes and hours and days and weeks and months and years worrying about what somebody is going to say, that's when you're going to show up performing, so that you can fit their image of you, their idea of you. And I don't have time for that. It takes too much work to do that. So no, don't care what other people say about you and feel about you. Now, of course, we ain't gonna show up just acting any old kind of way because I don't care what people say. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying show up. And even in your flaws, even in your imperfections, show up, because they're gonna judge you either way.
Yeah. And you know, and my mother used to say, like the same thing you said, they judge Jesus. And she would always say they're going to judge you if you're doing good or if you're doing bad. It don't matter. Either way, people will have something to say. But listen, I don't know about y'all. I know Dr. Monica stepped on somebody's toes when she said you're afraid of being judged, but you out here judging people. Oops. Ooh. Yeah, I put my tea down on the table, but if I had it, that would have been a sipping moment, right? And so I love this conversation, Dr. Monica. And as we close, I want to ask you, if your voice could leave one message on this earth, what would it be?
Mm. Whew. My voice, if I could leave one message, it would be to be and it's so simple. And I say it all the time because this is what we're struggling with. Be your authentic self, but know who that authentic person is, so that you can show up as her or you can show up as him. You know, be your authentic self. But do the research for everything else. Research who you really are. Do some research on yourself so that you can show up and be exactly who you are. You don't have to be like nobody else, because there's so much about you that God wants to use. There's so much about you, but God said, I can't, because you keep showing up as Tina. You keep showing up as Lisa. You keep showing up as Tanya. You keep showing up as this. Show up as Monica, because that's who I want to use. That's who I want to put before the other women in the room. I want to put you, not your shadow, not your representatives, but you. So that's what I would want to leave with women. Do the research, find out who you are, and show up as your authentic, true self.
Mhm. Love, love, love it. Can y'all put in the chat? I will research who I am. Like, y'all got to do the research. I love that. And Praise Lady said, be you. Absolutely. And so I love it. And I want to make sure that people can stay connected with you, Dr. Monica, so that they can stay plugged in, they can support you. So, and really tap into what it is that you're building. So can you let everybody know of the best way to get in contact with you?
The best way to get in contact with me, but before I say that, I just want to say, Dr. Tiffany, thank you. And I want to say, I believe it was I can't even remember, March, April, you all know the date, the Shift Your Mindset masterclass that I
Yes.
was in. I can't remember I don't know if it was last March or April, but however, that is one of the moments that changed my life. So I would tell anybody, male or female, if you are struggling, I'm here to tell you, with your voice, with your power, with your boldness, with your mindset, that Shift Your Mindset class that I was in, it did just that. Like, it ignited something in me. And my mindset has been shifting ever since. So thank you, thank you, thank you for pouring in all those nuggets for the whole week. Early in the morning had me up.
Mhm.
Early in the morning. But I was up and I was there. So thank you so much for those nuggets, for showing us who we are, for showing us our power, for showing us that we don't have to be the voice of anybody else to have a voice. We just have to use our own. So thank you for all of those nuggets, all of the information, all of the education. Like, in just your story, sharing who you are, gave us permission to share who we were. So thank you for that. So I tell anybody, get into that class. Whenever your next one is, get into it because you will not be disappointed. And I'm not just saying that.
Wow. Can I say so? Thank you so much for sharing that, Dr. Monica. And
Mhm.
let me all tell you this. I did not pay Dr. Monica to say that. I did not tell
No.
her that. I didn't even know she was going to say that,
Mhm.
right? But let me tell you how God works. Today, I'm actually releasing the registration link for the 3-day
See?
challenge that's going to lead to the next masterclass. And Dr. Monica did not know that. But
No.
she did not know that. So talk about alignment. Oh my God. And so thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you for showing up as your authentic self and being willing and open to be poured into and receive the information that I was teaching and the coaching. And you came in strong and you finished stronger. And I was blown away. And so, and listen, let me just say this before Dr. Monica give you all her contact information. And she went on and she was one of my VIP speakers at my third annual Win Women Empower conference. And can I tell y'all, I was in the back changing, but I heard her, blew me away. And I couldn't get dressed fast enough. I'm like, I got to get back out there. I got to, hold on, put my shirt on. Come on, put my necklace on. We done yet. But she did such a great job. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're awesome.
I just had to say that. I appreciate you, all of you, not just a little bit of you, but all of you. So continue to show up. So I can be reached. The best way to reach me is on my website because all of everything about me is there. And it is iamthatmonica.com. And I'm also, of course, on Facebook, just under Monica Williams. And I do have a community of I am that Monica community page. So that's another way to reach me. But the best way I tell people to contact me is on my website. I am that monica.com. There you would just learn who I am. And if you want to reach me, you can contact me, fill out the contact information, and it will come to me and I will follow up.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Dr. Monica. We appreciate you being here. Can y'all get some microphones? Because she dropped, so get the little gems too. She dropped so many sound bites and gems and nuggets. I need y'all to run that up in the chat. And so thank you so much for being here. This was absolutely powerful. For all of you who are here, thank you for being here. If you're just now tuning in, the full replay, the full show will be on YT. And so you can go back and you can catch that. And before we go, I want to leave you with your morning tea with Dr. T takeaway. And I want you to write this down. And this is something that Dr. Monica shared as well. But I want you to write down, I will no longer shrink what
Mm,
God has called me to speak. Right? I will no
mm,
longer shrink what God has called me to speak. And as we close today's morning tea with Dr. T, I want you to remember that you were not created to be silent. You were created to shift every atmosphere with your voice. Right. And so if this conversation spoke to you this morning, I want you to type WIN, WIN in all caps in the comments and make sure that you share this with another woman who needs to hear this. Right. Matter of fact, we're going to make this plural with all the women who
all the
needs to hear
women, yes.
all of them. Get it up, get it, and call them, girl. You better go to YT and catch the full replay. All right. And if you are ready to grow in your mindset, in your leadership, in your purpose, as I always do, I want to extend the invitation for you to either stay connected or get connected with me in my women's community, Win Women Empower. We are a global women's community where our mission statement is women empowering women to soar, scale, and succeed. So you can send me a DM if you want to know more. And who knows, you may be the next cover girl. You may be in the next edition of the Win Women Empower magazine that's coming out in the summer of 2026. And you see here how Dr. Monica looks absolutely bold, fearless, and like the powerhouse woman that she is. And so I thank you all for being here. And I see all the wins in the comments and pray us on out. And so, Father God, I thank you. I thank you for another episode of Morning Tea with Dr. T. Lord, I just thank you for all the women who have tuned in. I thank you for using Dr. Monica to spread her voice, to spread her
Mm,
message, to share a message of hope, a message of encouragement, inspiration, God. I thank you for everything that she poured out to the women across this global platform. Lord, I thank you for restoring her, replenishing her, refueling her. I thank you for continuing to cover her as she go out boldly, as she goes out as a fearless woman, as the powerhouse woman everywhere that she goes, and she touches the lives of women globally. So God, I thank you for her ministry. I thank you for her walk. I thank you for her calling. I thank you that she is healed, God. So thank you for doing the work. Lord, I just thank you for all the other women who are shifting now as a result of hearing this conversation today. I thank you that they have realized that it's not too late to heal. It's not too late to accept what has been done to them and make a change, God. So I thank you for them also being bold, for them also being fearless, and for them also being powerhouse women, God. And so we thank you and we ask that you cover everybody in your precious blood from the crown of their head to the soles of their feet. Lord, I just thank you that this is just the beginning of them using their voice to speak the things that you have called them to speak, to go into the rooms where you have called them to serve, God. And I look forward to the testimonies, oh God, of victory, of resilience, of breakthrough, of restoration, God, of healing, of overcoming, God. And so we just thank you. I thank you for all of those who will come back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I seal this prayer in your name, Jesus. Amen, amen, and amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
I love you, Dr. Monica Williams. You are amazing. You know how I feel about you. Thank you
Oh,
again for being here.
all right. Love you too. And I know you're going to have an amazing day.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, everybody. That's it. We wrapped up another incredible episode of Morning Tea with Dr. T.